everyone, it's Peg, and today I am going to go over some of what I've been doing this last week. It is June, and for June we are doing Artist Trading Card a Day. That's hashtag ATCAD 2017. That means for 30 days of artistic fun, we are going to create trading cards during the month of June. There's no special prompts. You just create a card every day in June and post it on your choice of social media using the hashtag. So what I do in preparation for a project like this that is going to go over a month period of time is I'm just creating a whole bunch of backgrounds. I've got all kinds of papers and things, and I'm going to create those 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards that become the background for our artist trading card. And you can see I'm just gluing down papers that have stamping and coffee stain and all of that kind of stuff on them. So you can see I have quite an assortment already here of backgrounds that I can use for these trading cards. Now I am going to produce for you another video using the backgrounds that I used this week. Because some people have already asked me, how did you create that? Did you do a video? And I have to say, well, I'm doing it now. These are artist trading cards that I am making for a trade in Studio ABC. If you want to do some trading, there are a number of different groups out there. There's an artist trading card group on Facebook that trades on a regular basis. ABC does a monthly trade, and so the June theme for the trade this month was Paris. So I'm creating some Paris themed trading cards. And next month, I'm not sure. I think it might be coffee or tea, something like that. You'll have to go into the website for that if you're interested in doing that, and then sign up for the monthly challenge, and they'll give you a partner that you're going to trade with, and then you communicate with that partner and do your trading. So this one I'm doing with napkins, just because I had these Paris napkins and I didn't want to go searching through all of my things to find something else Paris when I had these wonderful images already. So I'm just going to quickly create some cards for trade for that group. I'm using some matte medium over the top just to seal that napkin down on the page. It'll permeate that paper. I used a glue stick underneath just because it works. And I didn't want to get too fussy about it. And then I'm going to add some embellishments to these already beautiful cards. Now these are the alcohol ink backgrounds, and this one I'm showing you right now was day 2, I think. No, day 3. I did 3 cards. Actually, I did 5, I think, on the alcohol ink backgrounds, and that's the video that I'm going to do separately for you. It takes a while for the alcohol to dry on the Yupo paper, so you can't really, just go step by step without having a break in between. But you can see from the backgrounds that they do produce some really vibrant colors. Alcohol ink is like that. I'm using some Chit Chat words from Tim Holtz and a stamp. It's a mini stamp out of one of his sets for the focal image. And this is a ticket out of his collection also. So I just thought, I love Tim Holtz. I love the stuff that he does, and I'm just going to go with that because it's easy peasy, no brainer, and we're just making small cards, right? So I'm going to stamp that up get my globe on the edge of that ticket, and then I can go ahead and attach that to my ATC. Oh, I guess I went around it with a gel pen first. Just used a white jelly roll for this. And then I'm going to use some Sookwang tape to attach it with. This is a really good tape. I know there's a lot of them out on the market, but I prefer the Sookwang. It just seems to consistently be a good quality tape. And then I decided, well, that's not enough. I go in my stash and I find this little metal embellishment, and I've got some gold stretchy cord, and I'm going to put that through and make kind of a belly band on my ATC with that particular little metal embellishment, and fiddling with it and getting that in position and going around to the back and tying it off. And then what I'll do is I will take another piece of card and stamp up. I have a stamp, it's an ATC stamp, and the information that I like to put on the back is already part of that stamp. So it will have the title of the artist trading card, it'll say who did it, it'll give a contact information if somebody wants to contact you, a date, and the number, like if it's 1 of 3 or something like that, then you can put the number on there. So you can see I'm inking that up. I've got a piece of scrap paper from some other project, and I'm going to use that on the background. Here comes out my Sookwang, and I'm going to glue that down again. And then I'm going to put that, mount that on the back of the artist trading card so that I can write all that pertinent information that needs to go with the card. Because they're meant for trading. They're meant for giving away. If you guys haven't traded cards before, this is a real easy one to do because it just fits nicely in an envelope. You know, you're not spending a whole bunch of money. Like I've done circle journals before, and that got expensive, mailing those circle journals around. And, you know, postage isn't getting any cheaper, especially if you're going overseas with some of that stuff. So this is a real good thing to do. You can trade with people all over the world, and it isn't going to cost a fortune. So now I have another one of Tim's stamps. This one is a gear, and I'm using another one of those alcohol ink backgrounds. This came out beautiful. It was a stencil from Stencil Girl, and I'll try to put some information down below for you for the type of information. And I'm playing around trying to figure out what do I want to put on here. And I like the background so much, I really don't want to cover it up with a lot. So I have this little teeny tiny face stamp. I've had it for years. It's from Renaissance Art Stamps. I don't even know if they're still in business. They were from Burlington, Connecticut, I believe. And it's just the nicest little stamp. I have a lot of art stamps because I've always enjoyed doing collage, and this gives me an opportunity to do a miniature size collage on these trading cards. So I'm going to add a few metal embellishments. The charms that have the loop on them so that you can dangle, I usually use a pair of cutters and take those off so that you know, unless I'm going to tie it on to something, I don't really want that extra loop on there, so I'll just trim that off and put it on my card without it. So let's see, are we up to, is that this was my day 1 card, and that was day 2. So now, no, that was day 3. So now I didn't do these quite in order. This was day 2, which is another alcohol ink background. That black cardstock was giving me some trouble. And then I take out some jelly prints. I'm going to punch flowers and things out of that printed paper. I thought that that yellow would be bright and stand out against that bold design background. And I'm looking at it, I'm saying, I still need another layer of something to pop that off of there. So I get some hot pink paper. This is a watercolor hot pink that's going behind the yellow, and then the black painted paper for my center. And I punch a few little embellishments for the center. And I'm going to add a saying, quote, and some bling, and a little bee. I found a little button that was a bee, and I thought, oh yeah, they buzz around the flowers, and they like to be around those things that are spring. So just getting those little stamen for the center of my flower. Now I'm punching out some little stamen type punches to go in the center. I do fuss with these quite a bit. Anyway, I think those are all the videos that I have up to this point. I may have one other. Okay, I just looked, and yep, I've got some more stuff. So I'm going to bore you for a little while longer. I actually did a couple more cards with I was taping while I was doing it, and you know, since I was releasing them daily, I didn't really want to do a video for all of this stuff that was going to be out there before the daily post went up. So I just was taping a day and saving it back, and taping a day and saving it back, and taping a day, until I got enough to make a week's worth of cards here, just to give you a good sampling of what we're doing. And then if you're following, be sure and use that hashtag in other social media. Like if you're on Instagram, there's a ton of Instagram photos out there already. Just search on that hashtag and you will find all of the artist trading cards that people have put out there. You know, check Pinterest, check Instagram, check, I don't know what else people are posting to, Google Plus, Facebook, of course, they're posting in some of their groups. But if you search using that hashtag, you should come up with quite a bit of content using this theme. So that was day 2. My little bee spreading sparkle. Yeah. So this was is this the 4th card I did, I guess? Yeah. And I'm stamping. This particular stamp is an old stamp too. Yeah, I got a lot of those types of stamps in my stash, and it's another one with gears and things, because there again I had that paper that had those gears and things on it. And then this one, I'm going to use these are stamps that I created using stamps and fractals and created whole sheets of adhesive back stamps to use in my art projects. So it kind of becomes like a postage stamp. There was a whole big thing back in the 90s where people were trading postage stamps that they had made. And so that's the genesis of this. It's postage stamps that I had created using my art for that image that comes up on the page. And then, of course, I have to add embellishments. You know, I'm all about the embellishments. So I'm just adding a few things to that stamped card. And then I have another one. This is an old piece of ephemera. It comes from Calder's. It's a storage space for, they specialized in household goods here in Cedar Rapids where people were storing things. And I think this came out of my mother's stuff because it was pretty tattered. And what was inside the flip, this was a flip covered book, and what was inside of it were these little emery board things. And so I thought the image was kind of cool because it was this vintage looking storage locker building. And I'm not even sure, I'm going to have to look now downtown and see if I can find a building that looks like that particular building, because I don't remember this from my youth. So it's kind of cool to go back and look at things like that. And because it's a storage locker, you got to have a key for your storage locker, right? So I'm putting a key on there for the embellishment. So that's my first 5 cards. I hope you enjoyed this. I threw in those additional ones for Paris, and I will try to get that other video up for you shortly. Thanks for watching. Be sure and give me a thumbs up if you like this.